saying that since the Constitution bench, I think your lordships trusted the government when they said that they will ensure that statehood comes in. There are two different observations. Just see for a minute, page 503, my lords, of the judgment of which is page 368, para 503, page 368. Page 368 firstly. This is the majority judgment, my lords, of which my lord Chief Justice was a part. This is page 368.
Not a question of majority judgment. There was no minority view.
No, there was no.
It's a unanimous judgment.
In number.
Yeah, but two learned judges have given their concurring but differing view.
No.
How can you term as a majority?
It's just the language, that's all. So if your lordship sees para 503.
My lords, may I just
It's
take
part-
2
part
minutes?
same.
May I just take 2 minutes of your lordship's time?
Can I just?
Decide between two of you who wants to.
I'll just
My
finish.
lords, there are two different MAs before
Correct.
you.
So after I
There are two
finish,
different MAs. Yeah.
it's a same volume. Same volume.
But my lords,
Same
the-
volume. My lord, same volume.
the
Same volume your lordships were reading.
Error, my lords. The
Just-
registrar doesn't document
let one person
that
argue at
both
a
of
time.
us were
Yeah.
by the court.
At least in my last 6 years, I have failed to bring any discipline in the court. And now.
Sorry, my lords, I thought at least in the Kashmir matter, I went last because I didn't want to violate the court discipline deliberately. Here, at least, it's my application. Allow me to argue. Page 368. Page 368. My lords have that?
Yes.
The Solicitor General for the Union of India submitted that statehood will be restored to Jammu and Kashmir.
Paragraph?
Para 503, my lords. Page 368. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Para 503. The Solicitor General for the Union of India submitted that statehood will be restored to Jammu and Kashmir and that its status as a union territory is temporary. The Solicitor General submitted that the status of the Union Territory of Ladakh will not be affected by the restoration of statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. In view of the submission made by the Solicitor General that statehood would be restored of Jammu and Kashmir, we do not find it necessary to determine whether the reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir is permissible under Article 3. Please skip all the way to the last sentence in that paragraph, which is at the bottom of the page. Restoration of statehood shall take place at the earliest and as soon as possible. This, my lords, your lordships will find once again in the final direction, which is para 514, page 377. Page 377. The whole series of direction. I'm just reading M and N at the bottom of the page. M first. The Solicitor General stated that the statehood of J&K will be restored except for the carving out of the Union Territory of Ladakh. In view of the statement, we do not find it necessary to determine whether the reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir is permissible under Article 3. However, we uphold the validity of the decision to carve out the UT of Ladakh in view of Article 3A, read with explanation 1, which permits forming a union territory by separation of a territory from any state. N, next paragraph. We direct that steps shall be taken by the Election Commission of India to conduct elections to the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir constituted under Section 14 of the Reorganization Act by 30th September 2024. Your Lordships gave a date for that. But the next sentence, restoration of statehood shall take place at the earliest and as soon as possible. My Lords, the separate concurring judgment of Justice Call, just one paragraph, two sentences at page 488. 488. The last 4 lines of para 109, my lords. at 488, middle of 488, last 4 lines. However, at present, we need not examine this aspect in greater depth, as the Solicitor General assured this court of the Union's commitment made on the floor of the House that the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir would be restored in the near future upon elections being held. Upon elections being held. Please mark upon elections being held. Finally, my lords, if your lordships will just see for the sake of completion, Justice Khanna at page 501, para 5. Page 501. It's a short judgment of 7 paragraphs. Para 5. I also agree with this observations recorded by Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, taking record of the statement on behalf of the Union of India for restoration of the statehood of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, while upholding the creation of the Union Territory of Ladakh. Now, my lords, unanimously, based on the submissions of the Union of India, your lordships are not drawn into answering that question on which we had given submissions. We were all ready to argue on that issue because an assurance was given to the Constitution bench that we will, as far as we are concerned, not go into that question. Let the elections be held, and immediately thereafter, there will be the restoration of statehood. It has been 21 months since that judgment. There has been no movement towards it, partly because your lordships, I think, and fairly, trusted the Union when they made the statement to this court that they will implement statehood. Now that this... Now, the writ petition.
We were the petitioner then also, and the earlier occasion, and we are the petitioners here also for the same kind of.
My lords, I was
I
also
just-
for the petitioners earlier, former Chief Secretary, the interlocutor in Kashmir. We were waiting for the assembly session to see if anything happens. We are also supporting this petition, and my lords, we'd also be filing the petition.
My
I
lord,
just
I
have-
appear for a member
I'll
of the
just make one-
Legislative
just
Assembly
1 minute, let me just finish.
who was heard during In Re 370. He argued, his submissions are recorded, and so the registrar is erroneous in rejecting our MAs on the
Let me-
point of the part of my client not
This is
being.
already a petition, we'll consider that.
I just have one last submission. Whichever way, wherever your lordships consider, in my view, if your lordships are going to consider one, just please list all of them together. My second request is this. There are a series of judgments, your lordships are aware of it as well, where if a clarification is being sought or an executory aspect is being sought of a constitution bench, my only plea is your lordship may constitute such a bench which will consider these and some timeline be fixed. That's our only plea. Some timeline, whatever the timeline is. We have asked for 2 months in our prayers because we had waited long enough, but
Let them first get a response.
Lord, my lord, so far as this MA is concerned, it's not maintainable. Your lordships have, my lord, time and again said, imposing heavy costs also. So far as petition is concerned, as and when it comes, my lord, we'll deal with it. We assure 2 things, my lord, that election will be held, and thereafter, my lord, the statehood. Elections are held. Your lordships are aware peculiar position emerging, my lord, from this part of our country, my lord. There are several considerations which go into, my lord, decision-making process, my lord. And I don't think, my lord, at this stage, my lord, I don't know, my lord, why this stage, this issue is agitated, but have it after, my lord, 8 weeks, my lord, I'll take instructions.
my prayer is for 8 weeks.
Because this particular stage is not the correct stage to muddy the
Come on,
water.
everything
I don't know
else is-
why they are doing it.
Let him, you file your response immediately after the CUV.
Yes.
Yes, my lord, kindly have it after 8 weeks, my lord.
Okay,
And my lords, in fact, there's
May-
much
may we
to be said
just
about
say
the
one
assurance.
thing, my
The
lords?
legality of that assurance is also an
Yes.
issue, but and it's a
Because-
very important issue of federal.
Sir, you also have to take into consideration ground realities.
Yes.
Situation.
Yes, yes,
You can't ignore what has happened in Pahalgam.
my lords.
No, in fact,
Therefore, I am
which is
saying
why
that
it should be given.
why
statement,
this
which is why.
water is being muddied.
Because then you'll have a clear demarcation.
Yeah, at least we don't possess expertise in that. That's for the executive and the parliament to say.
In the hands of
Why
the central
this time
government
is
that has
chosen to
taken
muddy
place,
the water, my lord,
there
is
should be
also
a
a
clear demarcation of powers.
8 weeks.
grateful.
After 18 days, date दे देना है.
My lords, there are two MAs, my lords, before your lordship.
MS will reject, will consider, okay, we have, MS पर 8 हफ्ते के बाद रखते हैं.
Two MAs before your lordships, and there is a writ petition. They-
Writ petition is not there today on the
Yes,
board.
but there are two MAs with diary numbers. Yes,
ठीक.
so
After
we
18.
can all be heard together,
After
my
18.
lords.
Yes.
Grateful,
Sir,
grateful.
the copy may be given, but that if it is so. Obliged.